I was 18 then. I remember I was getting ready to go to my maternal aunt home. And the reason I was going to her home was because my mom, she gave me some important parcel to deliver there. Now my family and my maternal aunt family, we have very close bonding with each other. Because we are not only related from our mother's side, but my father and my maternal aunt husband, they are cousins too. So you can understand, you can imagine that why we have very strong bonding with each other, why the relationship between these two families are so strong. I remember I started in the afternoon, I reached there in evening, I did my job, I delivered that parcel, and my plan was to return next day in the morning. But wait a minute, there was a problem. I didn't carry that extra pair of clothes which I'll be needing during night's time. It was a problem, but my aunt, she very generously gave me my cousin's clothes because our sizes almost matched. So I wore that clothes, I spent that entire night. Fast forward, next day in the morning, I was done with my chores, I was having my tea, and my aunt, she knew that after some time, this guy is going to leave. So she came to me, she told me to bring my hand forward and handed over me a 100 rupees note. Now, you guys must be knowing this, that when you were small and when you used to visit any relative's home, while going, they must be giving you something as a gesture of kindness. In my case, it was this 100 rupees note. So initially I resisted that, aunt, I don't want it, I have enough of it. But deep inside me, I knew how badly I wanted. So after few resistance, I accepted it and I put it into my pocket, which anyway I would have in any circumstances. So after some time, I bid adieu to them, I left from there, and after 2 minutes I reached to the station. I took a ticket, and as soon as I was going to the platform, I realized something. That 100 rupees note that is no longer with me now. I left that 100 rupees in my cousin's pocket, the clothes which I was wearing during the entire night and for some time during the day. And when I realized this, I was disappointed. I was angry on myself. And my thoughts, they were constantly hovering between, shall I go for that 100 rupees note or shall I not? Shall I go for it or shall I not? And finally I decided that I'll go for that 100 rupees note. But why, ladies and gentlemen, why? Just for that 100 rupees note, I made this decision. I came from a family, if you'd rate it depending on the economic condition, I would come below middle class. Yes, even middle class are well-to-do. My dad, his salary was 15 to 14,000 per month, and 15,000 that also he used to get when he used to do overtime. I remember I used to get 100 rupees which I had to spend for the entire week. During the course of entire week, I had to use that money, in which I had to manage everything. Yes, everything. I remember sometimes for saving little money, I used to walk right from my college to my home, which was well 2 miles. And during the time when the sun was high, I used to sweat like nothing. And same goes while I was going to my classes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the days were full of struggle. And not only I was struggling, my families, I could see at the end of each month the struggle of my family to manage the expenses of their home. So that 100 rupees note, yes, that 100 rupees note would have eased my struggle at least for a week. So I reached there after some time. My aunt, as usual, she asked me, "Son, why are you back?" And on that day, I decided to lie to her for that small amount of money. Yes, I gave her some false reason. I went inside the home and I could see the clothes were still lying there. I went beside it, I took that money surreptitiously and I slipped into my pocket. And while returning back home, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was one of the most embarrassing journey I ever took back. But why am I sharing the story with you? Because when I look back at this incident, I find a very good wisdom there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today I'm at a position where 100 rupees is nothing to me. Sometimes I spend twice or thrice amount of money which I normally used to spend during the course of entire week during those days when the time was difficult. I'm not saying that I'm Tata, Birla or Ambani, no. But I generate enough amount of income so that I'm not really worried about my basic needs now. Yes, that the money problem that is no longer in my life now. You know why? Because the problems are meant to be temporary. Yes, they come in your life and they go from your life. But unfortunately, sometimes we get so overwhelmed by these problems that we take a wrong decision. And guess what? These decisions, they don't solve your problem permanently. In fact, what they do is they add new problems into your life, and that is the problem. Imagine for a moment, at that day, my aunt would have caught me red-handed. My values would have been questioned. My morals which my parents gave me would have been questioned. By the way, they gave me very good values. I take the responsibility of this thing in my shoulders, on my shoulders. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, next time when you are going through a crisis in your life, when you're going through problems in your life, and when you are making a decision, it's worth giving a second thought to it. Does that decision is solving your problem on a permanent basis? And if the answer is no, then most probably that decision is not a right decision. Because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I firmly believe that problems, they come and they go. They don't stay forever. But the decision you make, the consequences of your decision, that will stay forever. Thank you.